Hello. Uh, in the last 4 or 5 lectures, we have discussed about the particle nature of radiation, where we have the particle nature of radiation, it exhibited in the phenomenon of a photoelectric effect and then the Compton effect. Now, today we are going to discuss about one of the most revolutionary idea which actually led to the development of the whole what we have the quantum mechanics, and that revolutionary idea proposed by the French physicist known as de Broglie, or with the usual pronunciation we call him as de Broglie, and that is de Broglie hypothesis of matter waves. Therefore, we consider de Broglie hypothesis of matter waves. Now, you see, we said that the photoelectric effect was discovered in around 1890, and between the 1890 and 1905 the various experiments were done, and one could not explain by using the classical idea, and Einstein came and Einstein proposed his explanation of the photoelectric effect based on the quantum theory. And between the 1900 and the 1923, almost 2 decades, the 20 years and passed, and various phenomenon where the particle nature of the radiation again and again it is proved, and specifically in case of the Compton effect. Therefore, in around 1924, when the Compton was discovered as a Compton effect, it was came to well known fact that the radiation consists of the stream of particles, and inspired by this dual nature of the radiation and also the symmetry aspect of the nature, and de Broglie, that is the French physicist, proposed a daring hypothesis in 1924. And in fact, de Broglie was not a physicist. Initially, he was very much interested in the field of arts and then the music and so on, the fine arts. He was a student of the fine arts, what we call as a BA, the usual our education. He was a student of BA, and his younger brother was known as a Maurice de Broglie. He was actually a physicist. And the Maurice de Broglie was studying in England and the Cambridge University. He used to come to at the vacation time to visit his home, where he used to say regarding the various aspects now happening in the modern physics, particularly the discussion regarding the dual nature of the radiation. Inspired by this discussion, de Broglie began to think regarding the dual nature of the radiation. Ultimately, he got a new idea. That is why the idea came for only a person who is of a highest caliber, and the de Broglie probably one of the highest caliber, I can say. And the de Broglie began to think regarding suppose if the wave exhibit the particle nature, and whether there is a possibility that the particle such as the electron or the proton, whether it is now going to exhibit the wave property. And this was the idea of de Broglie. Therefore, the de Broglie in around 1924, he proposed one of the most revolutionary idea in the physics. That is, he said that the particle is now going to exhibit the wave nature, or the particle is now also like a wave, and this particular hypothesis is referred as the de Broglie hypothesis. Therefore, the de Broglie proposed that the particles such as the proton or the electron or the neutron is now also going to exhibit the wave nature, and or in other words, the matter is now going to show the wave phenomenon or the wave property, and the wave exhibited by the matter, which is referred as the matter wave. Now, when it is proposed by de Broglie, what is the wavelength of the matter wave? Suppose if a particle is now going to show the wave nature, then naturally there should be the wavelength for a particular wave. What is the wave? The wave is now moves in the medium in the form of the crest and the trough and so on. Therefore, this is now a wave, and the distance between the two alternative crest or the two successive trough, which is nothing but what we have the wavelength. Therefore, if the matter is now going to show the wave property, then there should be the wavelength for the wave. Now, we consider what is the expression for the wavelength of the matter wave. Now, let us consider a particle such as a proton, and the proton is now moves with a particular velocity, and therefore it is now having a momentum. What is the momentum of this particle? The momentum of the particle is equal to mv, and when the particle is now travel with the velocity, highest velocity, its mass is no longer constant, and therefore we can write m equal to m naught by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. This already you have studied in the theory of relativity, where the usual microscopic particles such as the proton, neutron, electron and so on, they travel with a very high velocity. It is comparable with the velocity of the light, and therefore their mass is given by m equal to m naught by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. Now, let us square this one and rearrange the equation. Therefore, this is become m square equal to m naught square, and this I can write as c square minus v square. This c square we can take into the numerator. You cross multiply and rearrange the equation. Therefore, m square c square minus m square v square equal to m naught square c square, or m square c square is now become the m square v square plus m naught square c square. Now, let us multiply by c square. Therefore, this is become m square c to the power 4 equal to m square v square c square plus m naught square c to the power 4, or this E equal to mc square, energy of the particle. Therefore, this is become what we have the E square, and E square, what is mv? mv is the momentum of the particle, that I can write as p square. Therefore, this is become p square c square plus m naught square c to the power 4, or what is the energy? Energy is equal to square root of p square c square plus m naught square c to the power 4. Let us write this as equation 2. Therefore, a microscopic particle is now travel with a very high velocity. Therefore, its variation of the mass has now happened, and therefore rearrange the equation. We do some mathematical jugglery, and so that we will get the expression for the energy of the particle. What is the energy of the particle? Square root of p square c square plus m naught square c to the power 4. Now, if we consider the light, its particle is a photon. Therefore, I can write, if particle is a photon, then what is the rest mass energy? We know that its rest mass energy is equal to 0. Therefore, m naught is the rest mass energy of the particle, it is 0, or we can write E equal to square root of, simply it is become p square c square, or it is equal to pc. Therefore, we will get E equal to pc. Therefore, suppose if the particle is a photon, its energy is given by p into c. Now, if photon exhibit as a particle, then according to quantum theory, how you can write this energy of the particle, and if it is now exhibit as a wave, not that as a particle, exhibit as wave, and then according to quantum theory, that is E equal to h nu, or this I can write as hc by lambda. Let us substitute in equation 3. Therefore, this is become hc by lambda is equal to p into c, cancel, and therefore h by lambda equal to p. Therefore, what is the momentum of the photon? Momentum of the wavelength of the photon. Therefore, you can write this one as lambda is equal to h by p. Therefore, simply lambda is now become the h divided by p, where the p is now the momentum of the photon. Or if it is applicable for the photon, it is now also applicable for all the material particles. What are the material particles? You can think of proton, neutron, electron, or the meson, and so on. All these are the material particles, or the any other microscopic particle which may be a molecule. They travel with a high velocity, they are having the momentum. Therefore, I can write this one as the lambda wavelength of the matter wave associated with the particle as h divided by mv, where the v is now the velocity of the particle. Now, if you consider this equation, the E equal p square c square plus m naught square c to the power 4. Now, compared to the the rest mass energy, which is now m naught c square, or this is become E square, and the p square c square, where the p is now the momentum, you are multiplying by c square. Therefore, this m square c to the power 4 is now very much negligible compared to the p square c square, because you are multiplying by the square of the velocity of the light. M naught is the rest mass of the microscopic particle. This is now the momentum, this is now square of this one. Therefore, the usual this m naught c square c to the power 4 compared to the p square c square negligible. In that case, it is now simply become E equal to Pc. Therefore, even in the case of the microscopic particle, if you neglect this one, the term m naught square c to the power 4 will get the same thing, E equal to Pc, or lambda equal to h by mv. Now, if the velocity of the particle is now the comparable to the velocity of the light, it is better, instead of the m, you can write this expression. What is that expression? M equal to m naught by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. Therefore, the lambda is now become what we call as de Broglie wavelength. This is now become what we call as the de Broglie wavelength. Therefore, the de Broglie proposed a hypothesis where he said that all material particles associated with some sort of a wave. And what is that wave? That wave he called as a matter wave, or the first it was thought named as the de Broglie wave, and the wavelength is now known as the de Broglie wavelength. Now, let us consider a particle is now travel with a velocity v, so that its energy is given by square root of p square c square plus m naught square c to the power 4. This is now neglected, and in the case of the photon, simply it is become 0. If it is not, this can be neglected with respect to p square c square. In that case, this E is equal to Pc, and then suppose if the particle is now show the wave nature, then the E can be written as h nu equal to hc by lambda, or lambda equal to h by p, and the de Broglie wavelength simply is become h by p. Now, the h is now constant, and the m, if it is now the constant, and naturally as the velocity of the particle increases, this momentum term is now going to increase, and the wavelength is now going to decrease. Therefore, the particle with the higher and higher momentum, the wavelength, the matter wave is now become the shrinking, and the wavelength of the matter wave is now going to decrease. Now, whether all the particles or the matter bodies are now going to exhibit the wave nature. Suppose, for example, we ourselves is a matter. I am also a matter. If you think of me as a particle, as I move here, I am going to associate it with a wave. But you cannot detect the matter wave in the case of the macroscopic level, because the wavelength is now become so small that this is comparable to the size of the given object, and it is now extremely small, and it is now you cannot detect the wave associated with the body. Therefore, in the macroscopic level, the bodies such as the moving bodies such as, for example, it may be a ball, or it may be a bus or a car or the train or the aeroplane, and all are now moving. And if you say what is the matter wave, it is a ridiculous one, because it is not possible to detect the wave particle, the wave nature. And only in case of the microscopic particle such as the atom or the fundamental particle such as the protons, neutrons, electrons and so on, they actually show the wave nature property, or they exhibit the wave nature, and the particles are associated with the waves, and these waves are now become what we call as the matter waves. Now, we go slightly further. I hope you have followed. Therefore, the de Broglie hypothesis, where it is now said that the waves associated with the material particles. Now, let us assume that a particle such as the electron or the proton, they travel and they are having the kinetic energy. As they move, they are having the kinetic energy. Therefore, let us say a particle is now moving with the velocity v. What is the kinetic energy? Kinetic energy Ek is equal to half m v square. And let us multiply this one by m. Therefore, Ek into m equal to half m square v square, or this is become 2 km equal to m square v square. What is m square v square? That is equal to p square. P square equal to 2 into Ekm. What is p then? It is become 2m Ek. This is become the momentum of the particle in terms of the energy. And we know that de Broglie wavelength, therefore I can write as de Broglie wavelength of the particle which is having a kinetic energy Ek as lambda equal to h by p, or it is now h by, what is the expression? It is become 2m Ek. Therefore, we have the expression for the de Broglie wavelength in terms of what you have the kinetic energy of the particle. Suppose if you know the kinetic energy of a moving particle, it is given, let us say electron is now travel with the energy of 1 electron volt. What is the wavelength associated with the wave? H divided by square root of 2m Ek, where the Ek is now become the kinetic energy. Now, this is a very useful expression. Suppose if you know the kinetic energy, if you know the velocity, easily you can find out h by p or h by mv. Substitute, you will get the de Broglie wavelength. If it is the kinetic energy is given, then you can use this equation. Now, I will consider a case where there is a two plate. The two plate, one is now connected to the positive terminal of the battery, other one is now connected to the negative terminal. And the electron is now travel under this potential. We apply a potential V. V is now the potential applied between the two plates. This is the potential applied. This is the charge is now moving, charge particle. It may be electron or the proton or any the charged particle travel under the potential difference of V volt. What is the kinetic energy? Kinetic energy gained by the charged particle of charge, let us say Q, charge Q. Then what is the kinetic energy? Ek is equal to, simply it is become Q into V. Therefore, lambda is become H by square root of 2m into QV. Now, we consider specifically in case of electron, what is the value of the Q? Q equal to E, charge of the electron. What is the value of the charge? 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. That already you know the charge of the electron. Therefore, the lambda equal to h by square root of 2m into Ek, where Ek is the kinetic energy, and if the charged particle is not accelerated under the potential difference of V volt, the kinetic energy gained by the charged particle is equal to Q into V, and therefore lambda equal to h by square root of 2m into QV. Suppose if it is now the electron and its whose charge is now 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. Therefore, we can write this one as lambda equal to h by square root of 2m eV. Now, let us say the electron is accelerated under the applied potential of 100 volt, and calculate the de Broglie wavelength, where the m is the mass of the electron known, 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. E is now the charge of the electron, that is here. V is now 100 volt. H is the Planck's constant, 6.63 into 10 to the power minus 34. Simplify that, you will get the de Broglie wavelength, easily you will get. If it is instead of 100 volt, if it is 50 volt and it is by 55, V is equal to 50 volt, you can find out. Now, we have the slightly in this equations of the different form for the electron. Now, h at square root of 2m, it is a constant. Therefore, I will write here lambda is equal to h by square root of 2me into 1 by square root of v, and this h is a constant. Therefore, 6.63 into 10 to the power minus 34 divided by 2 into mass of the electron. What is the mass of the electron? 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31, and the charge 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 into 1 by square root of v, because this is a variable, these are the constant. And if you simplify this, this is now comes out to be 12.25 into 10 to the power minus 10 divided by square root of v. This is so many meter, or simply this is equal to, if you take this one to the inside, the square root of term, it is become 150 by v. This is the one of the very useful equation to find out what is the charge of the wavelength of the electron, the matter wave associated with the electron, and its source wavelength is given by square root of 150 by v. Suppose if the applied potential between the two parallel plates is now 150 volt and the electron is accelerated, and the de Broglie wavelength of the electrons will become lambda equals square root of 150 by v, 150, that is equal to 1 angstrom. And this is only for the electron, not the protons, because the proton is now having a mass will be different. This mass is not 9.1, it is now the different 1.66 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg, and therefore it is now 1800 times the mass of the electron, and therefore this expression cannot be used straight away for the other particle. But in case of the electron, safely you can use this equation, where the V is now the voltage applied between the electron, the two parallel plates. Now, if you consider a molecule such as the then the kinetic energy by Maxwell's theory, this kinetic energy is now given by, suppose if the particle or the molecule which is now having a energy gained by having a medium with a high temperature, then the Ek is given by 3 by 2 into kT, kinetic energy. and therefore 3 by 2 into kT, where the k is now known as the Boltzmann constant, T is now the temperature. And therefore, if the gas which is now heated to a particular temperature, let us say 100 degrees centigrade, or it may be 150 degrees centigrade, all gas molecules are now moving, and as the temperature is now increased, and what happens that they are moving with the higher velocity, their energy is now going to increase. As the energy increases, that means the de Broglie wavelength of the molecules, this is now going to change, and the kinetic energy of the molecules, diatomic molecule, is given by 3 by 2 into kT, and therefore you can substitute in this equation. Therefore, what is the expression? Lambda equal to h divided by square root of 2m into Ek. Ek is equal to 3 by 2 kT, these two cancel, or simply it is become h by square root of 3m kT. Therefore, you have the lambda equal to h by square root of 3m kT, where the T is now the temperature of the gas, and the K is now become what we have the Boltzmann constant, and then M is now the mass of the given molecule. Now we go slightly further, we solve one or two problems to get the clear idea regarding the dimension of the matter wave. We said that the matter wave is now associated with the microscopic particles, and in the macroscopic level the wave nature of the body is not visible. Now to find that, let us solve one problem. Calculate de Broglie wavelength. De Broglie wavelength of 1 a cricket ball of mass 100 gram with the velocity 150 kilometer per hour. Second, electron moves with the velocity 10 to the power 7 meter per second. The two cases are given. Now the first case, lambda is equal to h by mv, and what is the velocity given? Velocity given is equal to 1500 kilometer per hour, that is 1500 into 10 to the power 3 meter per hour, and divided by 3600. This is become what you have the meter per second, and this is comes out to be 41.66 meter per second. This we got. Then what is the lambda? Lambda equal to h by mv. H is equal to 6.63 into 10 to the power minus 34. Mass of the cricket ball, which is given as 100 gram, that means you have to multiply by 10 to the power minus 3 to convert into kilogram. Into 41.66, and if you take the order, for example, here 100, here 10 to the power minus 3, 10 to the power minus 1 remaining goes to the numerator, 10 to the power plus 1, therefore it is 10 to the power minus 34 into 10 plus 10, that is equal to 10 to the power minus 33. Therefore, simply it is now 6.63 divided by 41.66 into 10 to the power minus 33 meter. Now, what is the size? Size of the ball, which is now a few centimeter, and it is now 10 to the power minus 33 meter, or it is now in terms of centimeter, if you say I have to multiply by 100, 10 to the power minus 31. Therefore, extremely small, and one cannot observe the wavelength associated with that particular ball, and therefore the matter wave is not going to exhibited by the macroscopic body. Now, I will consider, let us consider the electron, second case. In case of electron, and what is the mass of the electron? Mass of the electron is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. What is the velocity given? 10 to the power 7 meter per second. Lambda is equal to h by mv, where v is now very much less than c. Therefore, simply we can use this expression. Therefore, the h is now 6.63 into 10 to the power minus 34. Mass of the electron 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. Velocity of the electron 10 to the power 7. And what is the order? This is now minus 31 and goes to the numerator, and this is become 10 to the power plus 31, 10 to the power minus 34 is there. Therefore, 10 to the power minus 3, and it goes to numerator, 10 to the power minus 3, 10 to the power minus 7, 10 to the power minus 10. Therefore, approximately it is 6.63 divided by 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 10 meter. Let us assume this order. Therefore, 10 to the power minus 10 meter, that is the angstrom, and actually this is now of the size of the hydrogen atom. That means one can observe the wave associated with the electron, because it is a microscopic particle. The wavelength of the electron is now comparable to the size of the atom, not the electron, size of the atom, and that is why you can observe the wave associated with the electron, not in case of the wave associated with a cricket ball, that is the macroscopic object. Now, let us consider another problem. Second one. Calculate the wavelength of electron when it is accelerated under the applied potential difference of first one 150 volt, second one 100 volt. If electron is replaced by proton, calculate its wavelength. Calculate its wavelength. Now, we know that the lambda equal to h by p, or in terms of the energy, square root of 2m E k, or in terms of the applied potential, square root of 2m E into V, and this gives us the expression as square root of 150 by V in angstrom for electron. This is for the electron. Or this first case, V equal to 150 volt, lambda equal to square root of 150 by 150, that is equal to 1 angstrom. Second case, V is equal to 100 volt, lambda is equal to square root of 150 by 100, and it is now 15 by 10, and simply it is now square root of 1.5. This is become so many angstrom. This is for the electron. And if we consider for the proton, you cannot straight away use this one. You consider here lambda equal to, I will make a slightly 2m mass of the proton into EV. Now the mass of the proton, it is about 1008, I will write 870 times the mass of electron approximately. Okay, 870 times the mass of electron. If I say lambda equal to h by square root of 2, what is the this one, into 1870 times the mass of the electron into EV, or this is equal to h by, this I can consider 1000 square root of 1870, and this one 2me into E into square root of V, or this is now, what is this whole term? This is whole term is now become 1 by square root of 1870 into this term, and that is actually this one, and that is it right? Therefore, I can say this is the lambda proton. Now, the first case, what is the applied potential? Applied potential is now 150 volt. Therefore, at 150 volt, lambda proton is now become 1 by square root of 1870 angstrom. At next one, instead of 150 volt, what is the applied potential? It is now 100 volt, lambda p is equal to 100 volt. We have calculated here square root of 1.5. Let us say it may be something around 1.21 angstrom, something around 1.21 angstrom. Therefore, if you say this is 1.21, this is, you calculate exact value, 1.21 divided by square root of 1870, if you do, you will get the wavelength associated with the proton. I hope you have followed. Therefore, this particular equation is slightly modified. You can find out the wavelength of the given particle. Now, I will go the last problem, then we stop. It is said that calculate de Broglie wavelength of helium atom in a furnace of temperature 400 degree Kelvin. Mass of helium atom is 4.02 is given atomic mass unit, and then K value is given Boltzmann constant 1.38 into 10 to the power minus 23 joule per Kelvin. A straight away problem. Calculate de Broglie wavelength of the helium atom. You know that lambda is equal to h by p or h by square root of 2m Ek, but this Ek is equal to, we can write as 3 by 2 kT, and therefore it is now if you substitute, this is become h by square root of, these two cancel, therefore it is now simply 3m into kT. Or approximately you can write Ek is now kT, the Boltzmann constant into temperature. Now let us substitute the value. H is equal to 6.63 into 10 to the power minus 34 divided by 3 into mass of the helium atom. Mass of the helium atom is given as 4.02 atomic mass unit. What is the 1 atomic mass unit? You should know that 1.66 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. What is the atomic mass unit? It is now 1/12 of the mass of the one carbon atom. Therefore, it is now 1 atomic mass unit comes out to be 1.66 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. Therefore, we have the 3 into m equal to 4.02 into 1.66 into 10 to the power minus 27. K value we know 1.38 into 10 to the power minus 23, and the temperature is given 400 degree Kelvin. This is the value. That is become what you have the lambda value. So many meters. You simplify this and you will get the value. Therefore, it is not a big problem to simplify that. And therefore, in a nutshell, what we have discussed here, when the particles are moving, they are associated with the wave, and the wavelength associated with the material particle as the de Broglie wavelength. Now, this was proposed by the de Broglie in 1924 or so. Once it was proposed, then what is the guarantee that there is existence of the matter wave? And Schrodinger was an Austrian physicist who took this idea to the further level, and then he derived a set of equation which is now known as the Schrodinger's equation, and all that you are going to study in the other unit, what we have the quantum mechanics. And therefore, within 2 or 3 years, there was a lot of excitement in the field of the physics, and a lot of discussions went on. And what are the properties of the matter wave, that we are going to study in the next class. What are the characteristics of the matter wave? the wave associated with the particle. And then when it was all these were the theoretically, it is now proposed these may be the characteristic of the waves, then what is the guarantee that there is existence of the matter wave? Experimentally, one has to detect the matter wave, then only it is become the valid theory. If it is not that, it is a beautiful fancy story developed by the physicist who has given the proposition, it is not become a valid theory. And that experimental proof came by the two scientists, Davison and Germer. We are going to study the experiment, Davison and Germer, by the electron diffraction, and they discovered the wave associated with the electron, and the experimentally measured value of the wavelength is now exactly coincide with the theoretical value. And then this is in 1927, and therefore in 1928 de Broglie was awarded with the Nobel Prize just for the proposition of the matter wave, which paved way for the development of the whole branch, the quantum mechanics. I will stop here, and in the next class we are going to discuss regarding some of the characteristic of the matter wave. And the matter waves are now travel as a group of waves. It is not in the form of the individual waves. Now, what do you mean by the phase velocity of the wave, group velocity of the wave, and the relation between the group velocity and the particle velocity? That all we are going to discuss in the next class. I will stop here.